Have you ever met someone who never stopped asking why, not to be annoying, but because they genuinely believed that every truth deserved to be tested, not told? In ancient Greece there lived such a man. No books, no writings, just questions. He would walk barefoot through the marble streets of Athens, engaging anyone who'd listen or couldn't get away fast enough. His name? You won't find it on any scroll he wrote, but his ideas have shaped every philosopher since. This is the story of a man who didn't claim to know anything and yet helped humanity understand everything. Let's begin with a question. What does it mean to live a good life? Not a rich life, not a famous one, a good life. Today we journey through the mind of a man who tried to answer this, not by preaching, but by listening. This is the Socratic way, and what it means for your life. Socrates wasn't a king or a soldier. He didn't build empires, he built arguments. He was born in Athens around 470 BC, son of a stonemason and a midwife, a man of humble means. He didn't wear fine clothes, he didn't charge for his teachings, and he certainly didn't seek fame. And yet, he became one of the most influential thinkers in all of human history. Why? Because he asked questions that no one else dared to ask. What is justice? What is virtue? Can we truly know anything at all? But more importantly, how do you know that what you believe is true? Socrates didn't give lectures. He walked through marketplaces and public squares, engaging anyone, rich or poor, in deep conversation. He believed that true wisdom began with admitting you knew nothing. So he would start by asking a simple question, and then another, and another, until the other person either discovered clarity, or realized that their beliefs weren't built on solid ground. This technique, now called the Socratic Method, is still used today, in classrooms, in courtrooms, and therapy, because, it really forces us to go deeper, to reflect, to think, to unearth hidden assumptions. And sometimes, to accept that we might be wrong. That's where real growth begins. But here's the twist. Not everyone liked this. In fact, many feared it. Athens was proud of its democracy, its gods, its traditions. And then comes Socrates, questioning the very foundation of all of it. To some he was dangerous, to others disrespectful, to the powerful, a nuisance. Eventually, the city accused him of corrupting the youth and disrespecting the gods. At his trial, Socrates stood calmly and said, "I cannot teach anyone anything. I can only make them think." But Athens wasn't in the mood for thinking. He was sentenced to death. Socrates had the chance to escape. His friends pleaded, his students begged, but he refused. Why? Because he believed that running from the law, even an unjust one, would betray the very principles he lived by. So he drank the poison hemlock, as the law required, and died with peace in his heart. Not because he wanted to die, but because he would rather die for truth than live in fear. Socrates never wrote a single word. Everything we know comes from his students, especially Plato. But maybe that's fitting, because Socrates wasn't about telling you what to think. He was about how to think. His legacy isn't in doctrine, it's in dialogue. It's in every moment we stop and ask, wait, is that really true? And maybe that's the kind of immortality that matters. So, what can we learn from a man who claimed to know nothing? That perhaps the most powerful tool we have isn't knowledge. It's curiosity, it's humility. It's the courage to ask better questions. In a world shouting for answers, maybe what we need is a little more wonder. So today, ask one question you've never asked before about yourself, your beliefs, your life. And see where that question leads you. Because as Socrates once said, the unexamined life is not worth living. But the examined life, that's where meaning begins.